Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. That's me. Boop, Debsy. Hey guys, and happy Thursday. I hope everybody, excuse me, I thought I had to burp there. I hope everybody is had a great day and is having a wonderful week. We are almost to Friday. We just got one more day. That was two. One more day, and then we're to the weekend. So last night was Wednesday, and it was the premiere of the first ever Golden Bachelorette. You know, it is Joan, who is a fan favorite from the first season of the Golden Bachelor. So last night, Joan started her journey to find love. So I'm gonna break it down, and I'm gonna give a little opinion, give a little rant, make a little fun, laugh, cry, whatever. So join me as I do just that. Okay. So they started off with her backstory of her and her husband. So her husband, John, I believe they said that he was 22 he was 22 and she was 21 when they met. They had been married for 33 years. So she said that they were getting ready to go out of town on like a lacrosse trip and to go see a lacrosse game. And he said, I'm not feeling so great. So they got it checked out. And as it turns out, he had pancreatic cancer. He was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. She had said that he went, I believe, from like 250 pounds to 120 pounds and was just doing terrible. So he was in the hospital. She was there at 1 o'clock. And then I guess she maybe went home to change or do something, and then came back at 3:30, and he had passed. Oh, just so sad. Just so sad. Now see, at that point, I was in tears because it's so sad. But then I was like, why didn't somebody call and tell you? Like, she just walked in and he had passed, and she didn't even get to. No, that's terrible. That is terrible. So now she said that anytime she sees a hawk fly by, she thinks of her husband. She thinks of John. And she says when he died, she just felt invisible. She just stopped. You know, when he passed, it was like almost like she had passed. So here she is. She's on her journey. She feels like John would have maybe wanted her to get out there and find love and be happy and just be happy in life. So I'm going to tell you, she looked absolutely beautiful in that dress. That dress was one of the most gorgeous dresses I have seen on the Bachelorette, be it regular, original, or golden. I love that dress. Okay, so the men. There is the arrival. The first guy out was Pascal. Pascal is from France, but he's living in Chicago. Very handsome. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not impressed by Pascal. Come at me. I'm not impressed with Pascal. But then after that, it was a man in a uniform. Oh, it was very like officer and a gentleman in his navy whites. It's Kim. Kim is a widower. Then comes Chalk. No, not Chalk. Chalk. Chock. He decides to bring her some homemade soup because she makes homemade chicken noodle soup. But this isn't chicken noodle soup. This is Choco noodle soup. Bringing up a mason jar, telling her to taste it. First of all, no, because I don't know you. I don't know, number one, what you put in this. I'm sure ABC would test it out. But after this whole debacle of Devin Strader and his restraining order and his arrest, we don't know that. So number one, I don't eat food from anybody that I don't know. Because number one, how do you know there's not something in there? Number two, how do you know that this person's clean? I'm telling you, that's why I wasn't a big fan of having food days at work, unless it was pizza and it was brought and it was made by someone like a pizzeria. I don't know if your hands are clean or not. I'm just saying. Plus, here you go. You're eating some choco noodle soup, and then you got this on your breath, and then the rest of the night you smell like choco noodle soup. No, I ain't. Plus, no. And also, no, because then I'm gonna have to pee. What if you get the cha-chas? I'm not doing that. So it's a no chalk. I'm sorry. Next was Gary. Gary, I loved Gary's personality. Gary's personality reminded me of Susan's personality. I loved his personality. Do I think he's gonna go super far? I don't know. I don't think so. But I loved his personality. He was so much fun. Okay, then there was the other guy. I don't even know who it was. It might have been maybe Bob, or maybe the guy that was the retired videographer. But he walked up with like an old-timey video camera, you know, the big heavy ones. So there was that. I don't remember his name. I just put in the guy who pulled up with an old-time video camera. Then there was Jack. Part of me, listen, Jack was entertaining. He was funny. Is Jack going to make it to the end? No, he's not. But he walks up. He starts from the limo, walking on up to her singing I Did It My Way with his one pant leg up, with his one pant leg up and the other one down, and just singing I Did It My Way. And she had to really make it look like, this is good. I like this. This is good. Okay. And now the end is near. What kind of song is that you're going to be singing? If you're going to sing a song, why wouldn't you sing a song like a love song? Or like, Isn't She Lovely? By Stevie Wonder. Something like that. Not I Did It My Way. I get it. You're doing it your way, and this is you. He looked like he was enjoying a good bourbon in the back of that limo. That's all I can say. Was he fun? Yeah, he certainly. He provided some funny points, but I don't see her going super far with him. He might just be there for the pool and for a party. Okay. So the guys that are there so far, they get inside. Gary talking about the men and like the experience that's ahead of them. Like he was like, I'm here, I'm making great friends. And he's talking about this experience that he might have with Joan and finding love. That's the reason why I feel like sometimes I enjoy the golden version of the Bachelor, Bachelorette more than I do the original. Because these people, they've lived life. They know love can happen. And they're good. I'm going to say most of them are good people. Because as we found out from Gary Jerry last year, no. But they're there for the right reasons. They're not there to get internet famous. They're not there, to grow their social media platforms, raise up their numbers. They're not there for any of that. They're there for the right reasons. That's why I enjoy the golden version of this franchise. Okay, so next up, listen, Charles L. He come out. He was just the sweetest, most adorable little guy. He's married for 36 years. His wife was his first and only love. I thought he was so cute. I thought he was so sweet. I thought immediately, protect this man, because he was just a sweet guy. Then there was, speaking of guy, then there was Guy. Listen, Guy's an ER doctor from Reno. He says he's 66. He is not 66. There's a couple people in this that I was like, there's no way that you are the age you are. I don't think Guy is 60. Very attractive. I'm telling you, he probably keeps a lot of his clients because, he's attractive. He's an attractive guy. I mean, I don't know. He could be a douche. He's very attractive. Now, while all of this is going on, Jack is kind of lurching in the shadows, like looking at everybody arriving and talking about it. So next up was, now I didn't go through everybody. I didn't write everybody down, but it was the ones that kind of stood out for me. And then I think it was Jack and maybe Pascal and a couple other people were standing over there. Oh yeah, Charles L was. And they're like, what's gonna happen next? Well, then comes David. David pulls up on a horse. David pulled up on a horse because David is a rancher. And isn't David talking? David's talking to what was I gonna say? Leslie. David's talking to Joan, and he's all of a sudden the horse just runs away. The horse just runs into the night. He's like, and would you like to go for a ride? And the horse is gone. The horse is just gone. But next was Keith. Now Keith was described as girl dad, and he pulled up in the family trucks. He pulled up in the Griswold family truckster. I mean, he had he had everything on top, all his bags and his luggage. And he was like, come on, get in. We can pack some wine and some cheese and crackers and go down to the beach. She loved that. She ate that up. And they were talking. He was one of the people that they did a package on. And he has been the sole parent for his children for the last 12 years. His ex-wife, he says ex-wife, had battled addiction. So it looked like this was the end. Listen, where's Mr. Anderson? Well, where is Kelsey's dad? That's who we're all looking for. Kelsey's dad. So the limo, Jesse's like, we have one more limo. And she's like, oh, okay. Limo pulls up, out steps Kelsey. And the guys that were watching from the shadows, they were like, it's a girl. Ooh. And Charles L's face a little bit was like, oh, take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. It's not that kind of, take it easy. It's not a ditty party. Take it easy. This is just, you'll find out. You'll find out soon. And the girl, of course, is Kelsey. Kelsey steps out, and it's a very, hello, hey, how are you? And she said, my father has been lonely. She didn't say my father has been lonely. Maybe she did. She said, my mother has been gone for a while, and my father is a nice looking man. He's been very lonely, and I thought that you would make a great couple. So he comes out of the limo, and they talk, and then he goes in, and she says, you can call me mom. And now listen, his wife had passed away. I think his wife had passed away in 2018. As soon as he stepped out, I was like, front runner in my mind. But I'm going to tell you what I think at the end. Okay, so they go in, they talk. She gives her little speech, and then the first person to pull her is Pascal, of course. So Pascal pulls her, and the guys just get to know each other and start talking. He is very handsome, but once again, I'm not a fan. There's something about him I just don't like. I think it starts off with the fact that he talks about he never failed to talk about how successful he was, how much stuff he has. I think he's surface. I think he's very surface. I mean, he brought out that card from his son saying how great my dad is, how great you are, and this and that. Listen, I think he's surface. I'm not super impressed with him, and I'm never impressed I am never, I don't know what that face was. I am never impressed with, no. I don't want to say I'm never impressed with French accent. Because listen, if you've never seen Chris Letang, okay, Chris Letang, Letang, and the first name is Kris. He is a defenseman for my Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh, number 58. And listen, oh shit, he's from Quebec. He's from Canada, but he's French Canadian. So he still speaks with an accent, but there have been times when on video, he has spoken French. Oh shit, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, pregnant. There's maybe like a couple times when I have heard and I've been like, whoa. But typically, no. Typically, I'm not. And here's another thing with the Bachelor, like the original and the Golden Bachelor. He goes inside and somebody was like, it's probably a fake accent. And he was like, and he laughed about it. If it was the original version, there'd be like, there would be all kind of drama. People would start throwing bows. It would be a mess. That's another reason why I think I like the Golden more than the original. So all the guys are talking to each other. They're bonding. They're getting to know each other. So in my mind, I'm like, who is going to step up next and talk to her? Because you're here to like find love. You're not here to find like your best friend. If you find your best bro friend, then cool. But that's not the real reason why you're here. So Jordan was one of the guys who got out and was like super nervous, straight out of the limo. He's like, I don't even know if I told her my name. I don't remember what I said. So he's like, I got to make up for this. I got to make up for that disastrous start. So they start talking and everything seems to be going well. And then they start playing pickleball. It's just the two of them. They're playing pickleball. And then all the guys come out and they join in. It kind of reminded me of like the first season during Gary Jerry's season. And they all had that like dance party to "You My Love Poote" and "I Give a Hoot About a Poote." I don't know the words to the song. That song. When they started doing that. So they're all playing pickleball. At one point, it seemed like nobody even remembered that Joan was there, and somebody almost smacked her in the face with the paddle, and there's balls whizzing by, and then she says, there were balls flying everywhere. That's what she said. I was like, oh, she almost took a ball to the face. Joan, watch out. So all this is going on, and then there's Jack. Listen. Jack and Charles L, because there's Charles L and there's Charles King. So Jack's walking around touring the house, checking out the crown molding, counting, doing like a dad tour of the house, counting all the candle sconces. I'm surprised he wasn't like, is anybody watching these? Who's watching that these don't burn the house down? He's looking at everything. He's going into all the crevices in that house. Meanwhile, here's Charles L. He's checking out the kitchen. Nice to know that the gas stove is working. It's gas. Oh, there's meat. There's meat in the refrigerator. People are going to be living there. So, you have to have food, booze and food. So, I thought they were cute though, but maybe get out there, start talking to her. So I'm like, when is she going to talk to Mark Anderson? Talk to Mark Anderson. And I'm going to tell you, you got me. You won me over, Mark Anderson. Number one, he's handsome. Number two, hell yes. Who doesn't like some fresh warm sweats straight out the dryer? Some fresh warm sweats right out the dryer? Anything right out the dryer. Some fresh warm sweats, a nice hoodie or sweatshirt, your pajamas. A nice blanket? Oh, forget it. And a nice fresh laundered towel? Oh, all nice and warm? Hell yeah, it's the best. So she then talked to Jonathan. Jonathan was the guy at first who came out. I thought this was dumb. I thought this was so dumb. But whenever he came out and he had a blindfold on, he had that silk blindfold on, and he's like, and I can't even remember what he said, because I was like, fool, he's walking all over the place and you're gonna trip, you're gonna fall. And he then he took his blindfold off, and their eyes met. I can tell you, he is very attractive. He is a very attractive man. So they're talking. She's like, he's attractive, and I really like him and stuff. I think Jonathan's getting the first impression rose. And so then they go in and they're talking about, Jesse comes in with the rose, with the first impression rose. And listen, just like on the Golden Bachelor, nobody knew what the rose meant. They were all like, oh, what's this? And finally, Mark Anderson was like, listen, that's the first impression rose. Who said, somebody had said, being nonchalant. I'm here being all nonchalant. No, we're just being nonchalant. And he's like, seriously, wait, who was it? I don't know who it was, but someone said, I would have chalanted all over the place. I am going to use that at some point. I've been chalanting all over the place. Chalanting. I'm going to use that word. I'm going to steal it. Meanwhile, Jack's in the kitchen. Now, Jack's a caterer. Jack's in the kitchen cooking. He's cooking up some meat. He got some asparagus. And then there's Charles L. just standing there eating. I thought to myself, okay, listen, and somebody, maybe it was Charles that was like, we got to keep him around for, so he can cook. So, but what he was doing, he was cooking that for Joan. So he brings it out. I'm going to tell you though, this plate, it might have smelled good, but what was that with the asparagus? That asparagus looks like it was just asparagus with like a whole stick of butter melted on top of it. I don't know what that was, unless it was some kind of a sauce. I don't know. I mean, but what are you going to say? You can't be like, I really can't eat that because cholesterol, I mean, that's a lot of butter. And I love butter. But so she's like, oh my, so good. She ate one bite, I think. It was one bite. So good. It's so good. I mean, he tried. It was something, listen, it was something to stand out. I mean, I give him that. Okay, so next she's playing cornhole with Keith. So they're talking, they're having a lovely talk. They're playing cornhole. They're talking about how they both love, like she says, the beach is my happy place. He loves it there. She's like, I could see myself with him. So it's only the first, okay, well, I mean, okay. I mean, it's only the first night, but okay. So now at that point, I was like, no. He's going to get the first impression rose. He is. Okay. So next, there's Chalk. Chalk sits down. I didn't like this at all. Okay. So Chalk don't have his soup no more, his Choco noodle soup. But so he sits down, he talks to her, and he's like, I didn't like this at all. I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but he's like, okay, so tell me about yourself. Tell me about your children. Tell me about yourself. She starts talking, and then he immediately starts talking about his kids. Do you have dogs? And she's like, oh yeah, I have one dog. My dog's name is Banjo. No, it wasn't Banjo. But honestly, it was, tell me about yourself, but wait, I'm going to tell you about me first. And then she had said, well, I want to be more adventurous. and the top of my bucket list is to go on a safari. Oh, I went on a safari a couple years ago. I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. I've done that. I was like, no, nah, I don't like chalk. I'm not a fan of chalk. CHOCK. Something about him. No. So she picks up the first impression rose. She bypasses everybody. She goes outside. She walks past this one group of men, including Mark Anderson. The one guy stands up it just stands up because he sees the rose. She's like, no. Settle down. Simmer. It's not you. Simmer down. There's a few people that are a little deflated, including Mark Anderson, it looked like. And she makes her way over to this little cove where she was sitting with Keith before. Keith is still sitting in that little cove all by himself, which is making me wonder now. I'm like, did she say, she probably told him stay right here, because otherwise why would he just be sitting there by himself next to a fire in a sports coat and a long sleeve shirt? Now that I think about it, that makes sense. She was probably like, hold on. So he gets the first impression rose. She said that he makes her feel safe, which is exactly what she said about her husband, John. That he made her feel safe and feel seen. That's why she gave it to him. Okay. All right. I'm okay with that. I like Keith. Keith is a cool guy. I like him. So okay, that everybody's sitting around. Oh, okay. Keith goes into the room with everybody else, and everybody's like, hey, congratulations, nice. Another reason why I prefer Golden to the original version, because when a guy or a girl gets the first rose on the original version, everybody gets upset and pissed and sad, but on this version, they're just happy. Hey, way to go. Good for you. I mean, maybe it's because they don't know what it means, but probably not. It's probably just because, hey, you got yours now. Okay, maybe I'll get mine later, but good for you. I like that. So they're all sitting there. Jessie rolls out. Jessie plays the substitute teacher, rolls out the TV because they're going to watch a movie. What it turns out to be is messages, it's greetings and well wishes from their kids. And it was so sweet. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to make it through this season without going through at least a dozen boxes of Kleenex. I swear to God. All of them, I liked all of them. Pascal's son. I mean, it was nice, but then he was and I'm definitely not, it was giving me vibes of I'm definitely not going to be having a party Saturday. And when there's not a party, there's definitely not going to be a lot of drinking. And I'm not going to be doing illegal drugs on the carpet. And I'm not going to ruin a rug. By the way, if I don't ruin that rug, I am definitely going to have it replaced. So you'll never know. But no party's going on Saturday. Why would you ask? That's what that was. But the cutest one was Gary's daughter and his grandson. They were just the most adorable. So we're sitting there, we're watching this, and I was like, oh my God, my heartstrings. So can you imagine Joan? This kind of I loved it, but it was also kind of shitty for Joan because they have her sitting there and they have all of the children being hopefully Joan, we know Joan will see what a great man you are and that she wants to love you. We know Joan has a great heart and Joan won't want to break your heart like the divorce broke your heart. Please, Joan's not a monster. And then Joan's sitting there and she's like, oh shit, I gotta send some of these people home. God damn it, why do I have to do this? That's what, just oh, Christmas on a cracker, I gotta do this now. Way to go, thanks ABC. So she has to watch all this, then she has to dump somebody, a couple people. Okay, so here's the rose ceremony. Rose ceremony starts out, Some of these names I did not get right because I couldn't understand. There's like 2 that I think I got wrong. Okay, so the first person picked, this kind of surprised me, it was Dan. Dan, and then Jonathan, and then Mark, Guy, who's the ER doctor, Charles King. He was the guy that in the beginning, he came out with like, I thought it was dumb. He came out, it reminded me of Leslie's from the first season. But he's the one that came out of the limo with a cane, and then he fell down and he started doing push-ups. I thought that was dumb. But Charles King, the next one I put down was Gil. I don't think his name is Gil. We'll call him Gil for now. Gary, wait, which one was Gary? Yeah, Gary, I like Gary. Gary, Pascal, Chalk, Kim. Here's the one that I don't know that I heard correctly. Krister, I thought I heard Krister. I don't think it's Krister. It might be, but I'm gonna call him Krister. I don't even remember what he looks like, but he's Krister now. And Greg with 3 G's. Greg. Okay, so at this point, she's like, oh shit, I gotta send some of these people home. Oh, this sucks. So she walks away. She's like 3 roses left. 3 roses left. And she is like, wait a second. This is tough. I gotta take a beat. So she leaves she walks out for a little bit. I mean, okay, but just to let you know, this is how the show works. You gotta do this every episode. Also, I'm internally screaming at the other Charles. Now listen, it's also, you notice that at this point, the sun has come up. How long have these people been here? These are older gentlemen. And as a woman of 56 years, I could not have been standing there without falling down. My knees can't take that. Just like, who was it? Sandra or somebody from the last one was like, they should do this seated. They should, because she walks in the room and guys are like getting up from sitting down. Their knees are killing them. I get that. Move this along, Joan. So she comes back in and she continues. Okay, so next we have right off the bat, Charles L. Good. Charles L. Jordan is one that does not, to me, look like, I think they said he was, I'm going to have to look it up, but high 50s, he doesn't look like it. He looks like an undercover youngin dressed up like an older man. Plus, Jordan to me doesn't strike it as like an older name, you know? I mean, I don't know. Jordan didn't look that old to me. He didn't look like, I don't know. I think he might be an undercover youngster, undercover whippersnapper. Okay, there's Bob. Bob was the one who was struck by lightning. And then Michael, and then, okay, who's gonna be next? Who's gonna be the last one? And I was like, listen, I think it's gonna be Jack, because that's a personality. And it was Jack. Okay, so this season, what's coming up? This season, yeah, it looks like at least one guy is like, is Jack just here for the cannonballs? Because they show him doing cannonballs, drinking in the pool. Maybe Jack's there just for, a fun time. She does say that she feels guilty about doing this. You would think that she would say that. Okay, here's another thing. Jerry Gary is back. And if they put this son of a bitch on this show, because he says, maybe your guy isn't here. If you're telling me that you're going to come back and you're going to try and get with Joan, I'm going to tell you what. Fuck you, ABC. Nobody wants to see Gary Jerry. Read the temperature of the room. None of us want to see Gary Jerry on any of the Bachelor franchise shows. Never again. So no. He says maybe your guy isn't here. Well, it's not you. No. And then also I noticed that she did say to Mark, I love you. Now, could he be, near the end for her? Or could that be like I love you, and then he's gone? Because I'm going to tell you what. Listen. Mark Anderson as the Golden Bachelor would be very successful for them, because as soon as America, Bachelor Nation, caught a glimpse of Mark Anderson whenever it was hometowns on Joey's season, listen, me included, we were clamoring for Mark Anderson to be the Bachelor. Good guy, attractive, seems to have it all together, seems to be a decent man. So listen, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to call it right now. I don't think she ends up with Mark Anderson. I think he's going to be the next, the next Golden Bachelor. That's what I think. But thank God that they're doing, they're actually devoting a little bit more time to him than they did with Matt James's mom. I think her name is Patty. Remember, she was on the first season. You saw her for all of about 2 seconds, and then it was nothing more from her. And then people were all upset that she wasn't on anymore. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, there we go. This is a long video. I knew I was going to talk a lot about this. So, listen, in the comments, if you watched in the comments, let me know what you think. If nobody told you yet today, you're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world, so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Also, be aware of your surroundings. Stay safe. If you're someplace where it's hot, please hydrate often with water, even if it's not hot. Just drink a lot of water. It's good for you. And number 4, if you're someplace where there's a dangerous situation, whether it be because of weather or otherwise, please be mindful, be smart, be safe. I love you guys. I'm not going to be seeing you tomorrow. I did not get a morning motivations ready, so you're not going to be seeing a formal video, and I probably won't do a video tomorrow. I think I might just take the day off. So I will definitely see you on Saturday. So talk to you later, and everybody, we can get to the weekend. Let's do it. Bye, guys.